Hi, I recently purchased GH4 to replace my Sony a5100, and after 2 weeks of evaluation, I decided I'm going to keep this Panasonic GH4. Let's talk about it. Okay, as you know, I have this camera for about 2 weeks now, and I briefly mentioned in my previous video why it's worthwhile having this camera. But after 2 weeks, it reaffirmed that this camera is definitely very good for vlogging and YouTube videos, and it will be one of my main camera to do light video blogging or YouTube videos. It's not good for low light, but it's great for daytime shot. Okay, first of all, the price on versus performance on this camera is just fabulous. If you think about how much it costs now on eBay or Kijiji, it's definitely worth the price. It's if you buy used, you can probably get it for under 600 Canadian dollars or 450 US dollars. That is a bargain. Because it's able to do 4K or 1080p 422 10-bit format, which is amazing. It also has a high megabit rate, which is up to 200 megabits internally, which I don't think there's any camera out there for the price that can do that. The Sony 5100, for example, can only do 17 megabits. Now, it's not because the higher megabits it means it's going to be the awesome, much awesome footage, but what it means is that the format, a native format that's built in the MP4 and the .mov format is much easier to edit on my DaVinci Resolve 16. So I was able to edit smoothly, and when I transcoded, it's much faster. So keep that in mind. The battery on this thing is just incredible because you compare that to the Sony a5100. This battery here on the Panasonic GH4 lasts almost 2.5 times longer than the Sony 5100, with its ability to record unlimited. That's compared to, for example, the Sony a5100, the limit is 30 minutes. So you record for 30 minutes and it shuts itself off. And the worst thing about this Sony a5100 is that it does overheat after 20 minutes. So even the 30 minutes limit isn't really what this is capable of. It can only do 20 minutes. But here, this thing can keep on going and going as long as you have the battery to support it and the SD card, the size of it. So I would say you can easily record for at least 90 minutes without any issue. The EVF that comes with it and the touchy, flippy screen is very, very usable. If you compare that again to the Sony a5100, well, they do have a flip-up screen, and it's touchscreen like this, but it's limited. The touchscreen is only for autofocus and all that. Well, where this one, you can actually control with control the menu with it as well. And as you notice, the a5100 doesn't have the EVF on it. This one has an EVF viewfinder. So yeah, it can be a camera. Now, I wouldn't use this as a camera like photography compared to the Sony a5100. I would prefer this over Panasonic GH4 for photography. All right, but for video, definitely this is the way to go. Okay, now that's what I mentioned previously. What I learned after 2 weeks is that there's more to it. The one thing that people always mention is the video, but what a lot of people don't mention is the audio. What Panasonic have that the Sony a5100 as well as the a6000 or the a6300 or even the newer one, the a6100, what it doesn't have is the headphone jack. This thing actually has a mic jack and headphone jack. And what I like about the mic jack is that I was able to connect to my wireless lav mic, and so I can actually stand maybe 10-20 feet away and record myself, and the quality of the sound is still as good as if I'm standing 2 feet away. It's just incredible. So you have now the good video and a good sound. So definitely great for vlogging and YouTube videos. Like I mentioned before, the codec, the MP4 and the .move video format is really easy on my DaVinci Resolve 16 Studio. I was able to drag the file in there, and the editing was very fast. And when I transcoded out, it's still, I think it's 50% faster than the codec found on the Sony cameras. It also have a Cine Like D or V color science that is definitely usable even after heavy grading, assuming that you're recording in 10-bit 422 format. So yeah, this camera is just incredible. I mean, you have all the features you need to do YouTube videos and vlogging. So I would say even in the year 2020, this camera is better than most of the vlogging camera out there for the price versus performance. So I'll definitely recommend it. Now I'm still waiting on the Sony a7S III this year. Hopefully it will be released. Now it's not going to be replacing this GH4, but definitely that will be my main camera. This is still going to be my B camera all the way. And my studio camera will always be the Sony FS700R. And of course my A7R III will always be my go-to photo camera. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time at EducateTube.com.